Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope you're able to get out in nature like Starlight is. And also, I hope you're taking good care of yourself and the ones that you have in your life. Do you have a husband or a boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, children? Make sure, not just because of the holidays, but, slow down in life sometimes and really, like if you just have kids, let them know how important they are to you and how much you love them. And if you have a husband or a wife or boyfriend or girlfriend, you don't have to buy anything for them. Is you could show them action by doing things around the house. You don't have to go buy something out there to prove that you love them. Is you could do things around the house or communicate with them, listen to them. Those are ways that you can really help them out, which would be more meaningful, is to just be there. If you're a guy, like if the yard needs to get mowed, those things are so important. Or to, like to be there when dinner is done. Have a good, an ear to hear and listen when you communicate, not to yell and scream. Those are really good things that you can actually do for your loved ones without you don't have to go and buy anything. Is there's simple little things around the house that you might have been neglecting, or you might have put off, things that you might have been putting off because you got busy. And you know what? I love her so much. I told her I was gonna get this done, and you know what? I'm gonna get back and start working on that. And women, you might have been behind on certain things in different areas in the house, or maybe the cooking hasn't been getting done. Maybe you've been, putting things off and falling behind. Is, by trying to tighten things up a little bit better and focusing on the things that we're supposed to do, that way, you both are going to say, wow, look at, I'm seeing a difference, because, now they're seeing, oh my, the chores are getting done, or, things are getting fixed around the house that has been broken for a long time, so those, and we ought to really appreciate those people, whether you got a girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, or wife, is to appreciate when they are there and cooking, cleaning, fixing things around the house, taking the car to the shop, or whatever it is that you both help out. Or even the children, teach your children, is they need to understand, to be grateful for all that you do for them. So teach them at a young age, and teach them patience. So anyway, that's a long introduction. And if you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And you can find me on YouTube, and that is at Starlight, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman. Plus, you can give this video a thumbs up, and you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, don't forget, you could leave a message down below. Beep, beep, beep. Don't be afraid, don't be shy. Swing by and say hi to Starlight, and thank you, all of you out there who has subscribed to my YouTube channel, watches my videos, who gives me a thumbs up, or leaves me a comment down below, or even shares my videos. Thank you. And speaking of sharing, you can share my videos. You can share my videos with your family, your friends, your relatives. Do you got relatives that could use some help? Say, hey, you know what? This girl could really help you out with whatever, they're going through. And like this video here, this could help somebody out. So anyway, besides that, don't forget to check out my playlist, and you can find me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. So anyway, today I have this book here, and it's got all my, I have to write these things down, my topics and titles for YouTube videos. That way I have stuff all the time on there that I can just pick a topic, or a title. And today, and Starlight has been guilty of this, in my past. And a lot of us, if we can be honest with ourselves, we could all have been guilty of this. Now these days I don't know what age this starts out with, but when you're younger, when you're starting out, like boys and girls, like, and I don't know, it's none of my business how old or young you were. It's how young you were, when you might have been a teenager, around teenager time, or even older than that, is when you started getting interested in boys or girls. So in the beginning, you're so excited about connecting with the opposite sex, hopefully, right? And like, you could have a crush in school, with somebody, and we all have had crushes, I'm gonna really have this, I'm gonna say this, sometimes even teenagers could have a crush on like their teacher. This happens many times. They might feel attracted to their teacher in those years, growing up. So and there's nothing wrong with that. That is normal, as long as it just stays to that and that's it. So there's times that we are attracted to the opposite sex when we're growing up, when we're teenagers, or even older. And how were you in your teenager years or older, depending on, everybody starts at a different time, or it might even been before teenagers years, 12, I don't know. These days I don't know how young they start out. Starlight's way behind when it comes to these days now, because everything is so much different. My kids didn't grow up with computers until like near the time that my son's getting close to graduating. So Starlight couldn't even imagine bringing up kids these days with the computers and the cell phones, which my kids did not go through that until, like with my son, until he got older. So it's about when you finally, and it doesn't have to just be when you're a teenager or even before a teenager, it could even be throughout the rest of your life, is how were you throughout your life? Have you ever chased love? And Starlight's Starlight's guilty. Yeah, I've chased love. Starlight was so young. I wasn't dating anybody. I didn't even know anything about boyfriend, girlfriends. But I remember, I drove this boy crazy in school. I don't even know how old I was. I might have been like 10, 11 years old. I had a crush on a boy in class. And Starlight literally ran around chasing him. So it is kind of funny. We do strange things growing up. I don't know what was my, I didn't know nothing about any of that stuff. I don't know why I was behaving that way. But that poor kid, he did run. He probably didn't know what the heck Starlight was doing. And so that is something, I'm sorry. That is something you don't want to do. And when you're searching, for love out there, and and that kind of gets you in the kind of being desperate kind of acting too, especially when you're older or younger, right? You're always younger. Whoops, sorry, Starlight's got like hair in her ear. So I had to learn the hard way. I was chasing before, years ago. And then it is tough, because when you're chasing, what happens, like with that boy, I think I even remember his name, that's how crazy this is what happens when you start chasing after somebody, don't they start running away? Exactly, so when I make these videos, I never know what I'm going to say. This just comes out naturally here. So don't mind Starlight. That's exactly what happened. And Starlight was a fast runner. I got first place, and when I was like 15 years old, running around the whole entire track, got first place. I think it was just the girls, running against each other, and Starlight did it. My first time ever, my teacher taught me he taught me the day of the race, how to run around that track and be the first. And man, I thought I was going to die after that. But so Starlight was a fast runner, man. I'm going to catch you. But that boy just ran away. And that is really a lot of times, even as adults, that's what happens to people when, they might not, you don't know where they are. And, you don't want to come on too strong to somebody like Starlight did. I was too young. I didn't know nothing about anything when it came to sex or boyfriends or girlfriends or, any of that. So I wasn't learning anything. Not even at 15, I wasn't learning anything. So you want to really work on yourself, and you want to attract instead of chase. And Starlight did that a few years ago. I was working on myself, but you don't want to be so focused on them. That is what I was doing. I was so focused on the person that I did attract in my life now, because I didn't chase, and what did he do? The guy that, the universe blessed me with is he ran. Why are you running? Where did he go? You know what? And it was such a wake-up call. And nobody really, if you're not in like a twin flame relationship, really nobody is going to understand that kind of relationship. A lot of people are going to judge those kind of relationships because if they lack understanding, that's exactly what they're going to do. So, a twin flame relationship is so much different than a regular, I call it a 3D relationship, the ones that the past relationships that I was in, because I was always working on myself. But this is totally different when you're in a twin flame relationship, because you both are working on yourself inside, healing from past traumas and stuff like that, and growing and becoming, the best that you can be and being that change that you want to see in the world. So it is so different, is that it's best to work on yourself. When they see the work that you're doing inside of yourself, that is how you're going to attract them into your life, is by because they see that, wow, you know what, she's working on herself, and I see that she's making changes, and that she's been consistent, disciplined. Is she perfect? No, but they see that there's a constant growth, and that's what they, that's for a twin flame relationship. Now, on regular relationships, like I call it a 3D relationship, is a lot of times that's not how those relationships, you might have one person that's working more on themselves, and depending on who you're getting yourself mixed up with, and why have you come together, is it because, hey, she looks pretty, I've had that happen to me, and that is kind of the norm that happens out in society, is, the way we're made and built, where women desire men for certain reasons, and men will desire women for different kind of reasons. We're different. We function differently. So, I've had men that has met me, and, they don't know nothing, but they just see the outward appearance, and it's like, I love you, I want to marry you. But, that's all they're seeing. They don't know if, am I holding any, like, thing inside of me, like emotional problems from my past? Do they know how I get when I get sad? So you don't want to chase the people, because you are going to chase them away. Or the other thing that could happen, whoops, sorry, Starlight's knee here. The other thing that can happen is, like, if you're the desperate part, that's what, you got to love yourself first before you start chasing them around, because you're not going to know who you are to be able to have anybody to chase. So once you focus on yourself and learn who you are and do the inner work, the universe is going to bring the right person, anywhere in your life. You'd be surprised how this is going to happen in your life. And by chasing somebody, you know, men and women could be guilty of this, is that, so I see that you want me and you desire me, and they might not even be interested. So by chasing, like I mentioned in other videos about people wanting to buy things and do this and try to pull them in, and you could get used by other people by being so desperate, or it could turn them off, by behaving in such a manner. So you want to relax, especially if you've been doing the work, and then, somebody comes in your life, they might end up just being another teacher in your life, to help you. Because if you really haven't done a lot of work inside of you, and, the universe will put people in your life, and they could just be a teacher, for to help you, and you might only be in that relationship for 4 years if you're lucky. They have sayings out there like, the normal, how long people normally stay in a relationship before they break up. So I'm not sure what that is, but there is such a thing out there that normally people don't last a certain period of time, especially after they get married, when it's all legal and all that stuff. Like how long do they last after that? So you want to make sure that you're working on yourself, and don't chase those people, because they will, especially if you get with the right one. And like I was saying, is that one that you might be with only 4 years, then you got to find out, what did that person teach you, and in that 4 years, there's nobody that's perfect in any relationship. Like I say, I broke up with I only had one boy that broke up with Starlight, but I was only 16 years old. I had no clue of what a relationship was like. So that was all on me. Starlight had no clue, but all the other relationships, I broke up with every single relationship. But does that mean that Starlight was perfect? And no, I put up with shit that I should not have put up with, So that is things that I had, those were lessons for me, that, I let people run over top of me. Those were my lessons in different relationships, A lot of them were that, So if you only were with somebody for 4 years, then you figure out, what did you learn in that 4 years, and you really want to correct that. And then the universe, and then you got to work on yourself. Don't be in a rush to going out there looking for another person. Is give yourself a break. You need to get healed from that relationship. So anyway, the sun is so beautiful. So anyway, I love you, and don't chase, because, and then it makes you look desperate, and desperate is not where you want to go, because then that is when, and I have been there in my past, is then you end up putting your bars down, like your rules, you're like, these are the things that I desire in that man or woman, but because I'm desperate now, I'm just gonna, I desire a man that doesn't drink. Well, you know what? I'm so desperate now that I'm gonna have this person in my life, and he drinks. And then guess what? That's your lesson again. Why didn't you not want a man that drinks? Because you were abused before, and they got drunk and wasted, and they abused you, like through alcohol, and now you didn't learn that lesson before, and then you got with another person, and you didn't learn your lesson from before. Now you got to go through it again. And men, you didn't learn your lesson about the money issue with the girl. You overgave, you overspent, you spoiled a rotten, and that was your lesson. So don't spoil the women rotten, is a definite thing that Starlight says over and over again. And you got to not break your rules and be desperate and just going with any guy, going with any girl, because your energy is so precious. You don't want to give this just to anyone that isn't even doing the work, isn't even working on themselves. isn't everything that you desire, you know, for that man or woman to be in your life. So you really got to be mindful of that, is that, you know, this is precious. Your body, your mind, your whole being, you know, energy. Starlight's always protecting her energy from people and all that stuff. So you got to protect your energy and don't break your rules, you know, that you have set up. And, you know, you made those rules because they were lessons from before. So listen to yourself, listen to your intuition, the universe, you know. So anyway, God, you know, you can pray to God and ask for direction and help. So I love you, and I really just want the best for all of you. This is Starlight, and you can give this video a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Plus, you can leave a message down below, beep, beep, beep. And don't forget, you could share my videos with your family or friends. I saw a hummingbird yesterday, so you could share my videos with a hummingbird and a weasel. I don't know, what is a weasel? So anyway, I love you, and you can also check out my playlist. Don't forget the notification bell like Starlight did. And you can follow me on Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook, and that is Kathy with a K, Dingman Starlight. I love you all. So don't chase, attract. You know, by working on yourself, that's when they're gonna come to you, because you're doing the work and they see it. You know, they'll be like, hey, you know, and this is what happens to me all the time out here. People see, I get women and men that get, you know, I attract men and women, not that the women, you know, it's just that they see what I'm doing out here, and, you know, doing exercises, you know, dancing, you know, they're like, hey, I love dancing, you know, Starlight. And so anyway, I love you, and enjoy your day, and work on yourself. This is Starlight. Namaste. Starlight, love, light, and peace.